All right, so today we're taking a look at the Pure Swirls 1818 cordless pool vacuum. You can see we've got everything set up here, and I want to go through a little bit of everything here so we can kind of understand exactly who this is going to be for, what type of situations, what type of pool, and all that. We've got it in the smallest configuration, and you can see it's got this handle right here. And now this is going to be great for if you're utilizing this in a jacuzzi or hot tub, a smaller pool, and if you want to work on getting the sides. Now you could also utilize this as well if you're in the pool. So maybe you wanted to work on the sides of your pool, you can go ahead and get down in there and actually get up against the sides of the pool. Or you could go ahead and use it for a smaller jacuzzi, like we have our jacuzzi up there at the top of the pool. And it's also going to come with this longer attachment here. Now this is going to make it about 72 inches long at its longest height. You also can extend these poles and retract these poles down as well. So if you don't want it to be, at its highest length, then you can go ahead and do it like this. So most of the time, if I'm working on the jacuzzi, I like having this attachment on still, just because of the fact that it makes it a little bit easier for me to reach. I don't have to bend down as much, but I do utilize this one right here when I'm actually in the water. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over some of the features of this. First things first is you're gonna notice up here on the head, this is gonna be a triangular head, which I really like the shape of this compared to some of the other ones. This is nice because you're really able to get into those corners, and you can see right off the bat that we've got these brushes over here on the side as well. So you're able to brush those corners off, and they even angled them down. You might not be able to see it perfect here, but they angled the brushes all the way down, which is perfect to get into those corners, kick that dust and dirt off, and that powerful suction is going to pull everything right here into the middle. Up here in the middle, you can see this is going to be the tank where it holds all the dirt and debris, and you can see here it's going to be clear. So I like that also, that they made this clear so you could actually see everything inside there. Now if we open this up, all you have to do is open this piece up here. This is going to be the lock that holds it on. Inside here is the filter. I'm going to pop this filter off, and there's two things here. We've got our typical filter like this, which is going to catch your larger debris like sticks, stones, dirt, anything like that. We'll go ahead and go through here, but things like sand and mud may actually get through these tiny little holes that are on here, and that's why they include these socks. So this one's going to come with 2 socks. So one and then an extra replacement one. These are also washable as well, but these are going to help to catch a lot more fine stuff. And all you do is literally just put it over, just like you would a sock on your foot. You just put it over the filter like this. You're going to pull it down, and then now you're able to catch all that dirt and debris and keep it in here. Then you can go ahead and dump it out, and of course this piece itself is washable as well. So you just spray it down with the hose, dump it into the trash can, and you're pretty much good to go. Now for the tank itself, it's a pretty average sized tank, nothing crazy here, and this is definitely going to be for like a traditional size pool. You can kind of see the size of our pool here. This is going to be perfect for pretty much any type of homeowner. Obviously this isn't going to work good on like a commercial size pool or anything like that. This is a good one for basically any home pool. Now the filter is just going to twist on like that, very easy. You just lock it into place, and then let's go ahead and connect this as well so you can kind of see how that goes on. So you basically just line this up, make sure that this tab is all the way up. You're going to see the side right here. This is going to link over there, and then that's just going to push down and then lock it into place. So very simple, easy to use. So it's very simple, easy to put together. It's only going to take about 30 seconds after you get it out of the box to put it together. Now when it comes to charging this is where this thing actually gets impressive. So it only takes about an hour and a half to charge, and it's going to last you for up to 80 minutes of use time. So you're not going to have to charge this all the time, which is amazing with this type of product. You don't want to deal with having to charge this up all the time. This is going to be the charger that comes with it. It's a bit of a unique charger. You can see it's 2 magnetic prongs, and this is going to just hook right on here to the back. Again, it's magnetic, so you just hook it on like that. It is recommended to kind of keep this somewhere that's going to stay dry. You don't want this to just be sitting out in the sun, because these little charging nodes could potentially get messed up. Same thing with your charger here. They did make it for pools, so they know that it's going to be around water and stuff, and this also can go ahead and dip directly into the water, no issues. They just recommend that you go ahead and dry this off and try to leave it, you know, somewhere in the shade just so it doesn't get damaged, just like any other charger. Okay, now it's also going to have a couple other little accessories here. It's got these cloths and a little file that's just going to help you go ahead and clean everything off. And then the last thing before we get into the pool here, I want to show you down at the bottom. You're also going to have 2 brushes right here, and you're going to have 3 wheels so that it glides perfectly across the floor of the pool, making it nice and easy for you to push this around. All right, so here we go. We got it in our smallest configuration. Let's go ahead and switch this out because we're going to get it into the pool now and go ahead and show you how it works. So first things first is you're going to need this little attachment piece. This is going to snap into place. And you can see over here on the back, there's basically just a little push pin in. Press it in just like that. There we go, like that, and now it snaps into place. Then we also have our actual pull attachment. So one thing here you'll notice is this is actually covered up by the metal. So when you first put this on, you just want to open up this first bar so it kind of comes out of place like that. Push it down, and there we go, it's going to snap into place. Okay, now let's kind of configure how we want it. So you can see our pool is relatively deep, so I'm going to make sure to put this at its highest length. It just makes it easier, and it's just less work bending over trying to clean everything up. And another thing I want to mention here is this is very lightweight. So if you are somebody who just maybe don't have as much mobility, or you just want to make it easy on yourself, this is a good option because of how lightweight it is. All right, let's go ahead and bring it over to the pool and get it to work. All right, so we got it in the pool now. Now I always recommend leaving this in the pool for a second to kind of fill it up with water. You don't want it to burn up by the motor being outside and dry. So once we have it in here, then we can go ahead and turn this button on, and that's going to power it on. So you can kind of hear it going. It's got like a little whistle to it. Now let's get it down into the pool, and you don't want to move it too fast. You kind of want to just let it sit in there for a second and then slowly start making your way across. And I'm going to do it as slow as I can, that way you can kind of really see it work. And again, our pool, you can see how deep this is. Even just from this concrete down to this step here is a good like 2 feet. So I'm in the pool itself. So let's go ahead and we're going to start it off. Okay, let's go ahead and go across here. And there you go, just like that. You can see it had a nice clean sweep right down in the middle. It was able to pick stuff up. Now let's actually get this out of here and let's take a look at what we were able to collect. All right, let's go ahead and just take this pull off just to make it a little easier for us to look here. Now to open it up, again, you're just gonna pop this piece right here, take this out, and look at all that. That was literally one pass in our pool, and we were able to collect all these leaves, all these little pieces from our trees, and we also have our filter here as well. So look at everything that we collected here. This is pretty crazy. Obviously it was just one pass, and our pool's not super dirty right now. It's mostly got larger debris, so a lot of that is really going to get picked up here inside of this tank. And you can see it always amazes me when I use this how good this actually works and how much it's actually able to pick up in just one singular swipe. And then again, you're gonna have like your smaller stuff that gets collected here in the filter, but we only went across it with one pass. Okay, now I just wanna show you what it would look like when using it in a spa situation. So let's get this filter back on here. I'm gonna pop that on, and then I'm gonna pop this back on here. I always recommend too, like when you're putting this on, make sure that this is standing up. It just makes it a lot easier. Like if you see, if I have it down like this, it's always like a kind of a chore to put this on. So I always make sure that this is all the way up, this is pushed all the way down, these pieces are in place like that, and then it'll go ahead and snap and lock into place. Okay, now we just need to take this extender piece off, and then we can go ahead and put our spa attachment on. And again, this is good for in the jacuzzi, or if you're gonna be doing the walls of your pool, you can go ahead and be actually in the pool like this and work your way across the walls, which is really nice. All right, so the thing I wanted to show you here inside of the jacuzzi again is these brushes. So you can see these brushes are angled. This is a top layer right here, which is flat. And then we have a bottom layer that actually points down. So when we're actually in the jacuzzi, or anywhere for that matter, up against the corners, it's really gonna be able to push up against it. Now our corners in this pool are kind of rounded, but there are some people that have more of a sharper corner. And you can see these bristles right here are really gonna push right up against it. And like I said, this triangular pattern or triangular shape of the head is really going to help you to get up against those corners, even in a rounded pool. So this jacuzzi right here is basically a perfect circle, and most pools are not going to be squared out. A lot of times they are going to be rounded like this, so you could really push this up against the corner, brush those corners, get some of that gunk off of the side, and then that suction is going to go ahead and pull it right in. So I really love the design of this. I feel like this is just, you know, perfect for all types of pools, regardless of the shape and size of them. These brushes over here on the corner can push everything out, and then you've got the suction right there in the middle. And these brushes will even brush the bottom of your pool as well. So if you do have some stuff that's kind of stuck down at the bottom, maybe it's not loose yet, this can actually push it up. And these brushes on the side will push it up as well, and then you can kind of suction everything up from there. So if you're looking for a powerful pool vacuum, something that's going to be cordless, something that's going to be lightweight and handheld, and that's going to actually be powerful enough to suction up those larger pieces as well as the smaller ones, and something that you can use in both your jacuzzi and your pool with a very long extension pole, then I think this is one of the best options that you're gonna find here on Amazon. This one works amazing straight out of the box, and like I said, it only takes about an hour and a half to charge it, and then it's gonna last for up to 80 minutes. So if you're looking for like the most simple, easy to use solution right out of the box, I think that this would be the best option, and I would definitely recommend picking one of these up.